Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 123 is brought to you by Anissa, one of our newest Patreon patrons. Today, Sergio and I are joined by Nina, aka Island Grizzly, also aka Grizzly Crossing, where we'll be discussing the end of the countdown to New Horizons, our first weekend with the game, and some upcoming news about the game. So to begin, hello Nina, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me on again.
Yeah, of course. And of course, hello Sergio, how are you doing today?
Hello Chewy, I cannot even begin to express how amazing I am. What about yourself?
I'm doing great. It has been a long weekend full of lots of Animal Crossing for me. Literally, like, Friday, I forgot to do anything else. Like, I didn't check into the internet.
Yeah.
I didn't do a single thing. I honestly, like, fell off the grid. I didn't even, like, stream. And some people messaged me and were like, "Are you streaming?" And then I was like, I'm gonna ignore this message and keep playing Animal Crossing.
No one else exists.
Yeah, so basically I just went into full immersion with the game and just felt like I was really living my life on a deserted island with zero communication with the world.
Yay.
Yeah, so it's been good. I took Friday off. I know, Sergio, you have been off, and Nina, the situation currently has put you at home for the most part, right?
Yeah, last week and this week I'm supposed to be home, and the administrators at my school keep hinting that it's going to be way longer too. So originally I did take off Friday, but it didn't really matter in the end.
Yeah, it's insane. So I guess from your end, is it like, are you teaching online at this point?
So I've been posting lessons online for the kids with like examples of what their work should look like so the parents can help them out. And then this week we are going to start kind of like video conferencing if they need extra help.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I mean, it's been a huge adjustment for people. Sergio, I guess I don't really know what your work situation is. Are you like you're technically off on vacation, right? But
right.
If you weren't, would you be like a work from home situation right now?
Yes, either that or very limited hours at the office, but I expect by the time I'm officially back, it's just going to be fully work from home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just entered work from home status like everybody else. So Monday, tomorrow, for everybody listening, we record on Sundays, but tomorrow I'm working from home officially. Yeah, so it should be interesting. It should be pretty fun. I've worked from home for other jobs before, so I'm not like too worried about it. But yeah, it's just going to be a different time, and hopefully we get plenty of Animal Crossing time while we're here.
Right.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to not play Animal Crossing when I'm working from home.
Yeah, honestly, like it's sitting right now. I'm in my recording room and it's in my dock right now. And it's like I could reach over, grab the controller, and just play while we talk the whole time. But it'll be too hard. Fish. Yeah, exactly. But I figured it'll just be too hard to focus and do that at the same time. So y'all are going to have a little show to listen to while you play. But we can't really play while making it.
That's true.
I mean, we could. I don't mind if you're playing. So before we get too far into the show, I do want to say I've put calendar sales on hold on Etsy. I honestly only had about 3 calendars left to sell anyways, so I figured it was time to just stop that. Since, like as they travel throughout the world, they reach a lot of different people who have also met a lot of different people throughout the day. So I figured just with the situation at hand, it's probably not the safest to be sending out a calendar at the moment. But I am still working on setting up a digital option, but like I said earlier, I've been very distracted with playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, and so I've not done that yet. I don't know when I will be able to pry that game off of my hands but I don't know. At the moment, just be on the lookout for that. There will be a digital option for everyone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, of course. So Nina, we have you here today because last week we actually finished up the countdown. You did most of the work with all of this. I consider myself just the person who put it out there for people to see it. But yeah, you put this whole thing together. I guess I wanted to talk to you a bit about like how you felt with it ending, how you felt throughout the whole process of seeing people like post their answers and things like that. And then, yeah, just really thank you for making the wait so much better for a lot of people.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't believe like how well it worked. It seemed to really take my mind off the wait. And when we started with 100 days, it felt so long. And then by the time we were done, I was like, it has been 100 days. Like it just kind of flew by. And like, especially for those people who were actually posting artwork in the Discord every single day, like now we've got this huge, like kind of catalog for ourselves of this work that we accomplished, which is so much fun.
Right.
Yeah, it is really cool. There were so many people posting every single day on the Discord and even like on Twitter and Instagram and everything. Just like all of these places where people were like, oh, cool, there's something to help me with this wait for this game. And yeah, I loved reading a lot of the answers throughout. There were so many that I wish I could read more, but there was just... it's too many to really count. It's amazing.
Yeah, the answers really like always would hit a whole spectrum, of different answers, which was so much fun to hear from everybody. So that was really nice too. And then like on Twitter, it took off also. It was just so much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun that was very well needed in the time because for so much of that countdown there was really no news. There was so little said about the game in those last 100 days up until like February 20th. There was a direct, and then finally just trailer after trailer and message after message from Tom Nook on Twitter about the game. It got to the point where it was like hard to keep up,
Well, and we wrote those questions so long ago that once we did start to get information, I was really happy about how well we kind of lined up with the Animal Crossing team, which ended up being a nice little surprise.
Yeah. I that's always the hardest thing when there's like so little that you know about the game that it's like, what do you ask questions about? How do you anticipate anything? One that I thought was funny was just like, I think the second to last question, like the day 2 question, 2 days away. That one I think was would you get an Animal Crossing Switch console question?
Yes, it was like, if there ever would be a Switch, would you buy it? And it's like we'd known about it for a while now.
Yeah. So now, at the time this whole thing started, it was just like, we didn't know that was going to happen. It was a guess from everybody. And it wasn't till way late in the countdown that it became a thing. And unfortunately, by the time the countdown got to that question, the Switch was like very much sold out.
Yes. Yeah.
So some people, I just imagine that Fairly Odd Parents meme where it's like, this is where I'd put my Animal Crossing Switch if I had one.
If I had one. Yeah. that was a little unfortunate, but we did kind of hit the nail on the head on some other questions, which was good.
Yeah, but they had to make an Animal Crossing Switch. It's just the perfect game for a Switch console.
Oh, seriously. And it ended up so beautiful.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that countdown. I really want to thank you, Nina, for making it. I mean, you just did such a great job with all the questions. Like, I think back to the one I did for New Leaf, and I'm just like, oh, those questions were lame.
No.
Yours, I think they started out in that same vein where it was like, favorite this, favorite that. But, like, by the end of it, there were some questions that were like, oh, we're getting some really cool personal answers from people with these. So.
Some Animal Crossing journalism going on.
Yeah, it was great. And then even on top of that, like your art questions every 5 days were really great. I mean, I only did 2 of them, but when I did do them, I was like, this is actually pretty fun.
Your drawing of Vladimir was so beautiful that it kind of let you go through the rest of the countdown.
That carried me until I made my own little map. And then what's funny is like that map, I'm just like, oh no, that's not the map I want anymore.
It's completely changed now.
Yeah, my ideas completely changed by the time I got to release day, where I was just like, no, this is not what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah. Well, and it really helped me like drawing skill wise. Like I haven't drawn that much every single day in a while. So especially like towards the middle of the countdown, I was really kind of hitting a stride and getting into this new art style that I'm really liking. So, I can thank the countdown for that too.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really awesome. Just like having a reason to draw all the time. It's, because, like sometimes you just don't practice and you don't really change up what you're doing with your art. But now you just had 100 days to do it. So I definitely want to now look through all of your artwork and see. I know you've posted like your journal where you were doing it all, and that was really awesome. But I kind of want to just like compare the first one to the last one that you made.
The first one's pretty terrible if you want to look at it. And I think the last one is actually pretty terrible too, because I was so excited for the game that I was like, wait, no, I'm not going to draw anymore. But the middle of them were pretty good.
Yeah, it's fun, but regardless, it's fun to see like the gradual improvement with art as people go through.
Yeah, I made a little Twitter moment. I don't think that's how you're supposed to use Twitter moments, but I made a little Twitter moment just so that I can always kind of have them grouped together.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to use them. So that's cute. So I guess, did you have anything else to say about the countdown?
Man, no, I'm just glad that everybody had fun and it kind of brought our little Discord community together. And we're going to have to think of new, fun, things for people to participate in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and thank you. I feel like without the countdown, we would probably be in January right now. Honestly, I feel like the questions actually sped up time for sure.
Yeah, they did. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know about you both, but I feel like the last weekend has gone by so quickly with the game actually in our hands.
Oh, seriously.
It's just like sucking my life away, but in the way that I wanted it to.
It dropped at the perfect time for the whole world.
Yeah, for sure. I think the whole world is definitely glad there's an Animal Crossing game out right now.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's go ahead and move into actually talking about New Horizons. We've now had it for a total of a weekend. So not very long in the grand scheme of how long you typically play an Animal Crossing game, but very long in the grand scheme of like, I've not put this game down.
Yeah.
So I did kind of want to go through each of our, I guess, islands, like kind of what we started with, all the characters, the base things, and then kind of go through what we have done in our time with the game, and then also get into just like things we like, things we're enjoying, and things maybe that we have complaints about, you know? Yeah, so I guess let's go ahead and start with like our islands, like what we named it, what we got on our island, who moved in with us, all that sort of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, Nina, if you want to kick us off, I think that'd be fun.
Oh, sure. So, I think I talked about on the last time I was on that I was planning on having a pirate-themed island for a while now. So I named mine Keelhaul Island, which is a mostly fictional form of pirate torture in a fun way, But someone on Twitter actually pointed out that there's an island in one of the Paper Mario games called Keelhaul Island. So now I've got this little, Mario edition background to it, which is cute.
That's pretty fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was super excited.
Yeah, so I guess you named it Keel Hall. What did you think of like that little introduction going through and building out your character at first?
I thought they did it really well. Like the questions that Rover used to ask, I would always look up a guide. So I think just being able to have so much more control over your character creation was perfect. It's just what the game needed, especially, for people of color. And I think that fit in really nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that way too. I think it was just like it was very well done. I remember when I was doing it and actually like going through the process, like, you're essentially looking at Timmy and Tommy as if it's like a first person view of them and you're in that space. And so when they mentioned they were going to take a picture of me, I almost like, oh, I'm not ready for this.
You like sat up a little straighter?
Yeah, I was like, oh, wait, let me fix my hair. I felt like they were going to take a picture of me,
Yeah.
So from there, I was just like, oh, right, I'm going to design my character. That's what they mean. So, yeah, Sergio, I guess what did you think of that intro?
I thought it was really well done. It's definitely a much better approach. You start looking the way you want, with the eyes you want, the nose you want. We got new noses, new mouth. And I like also the fact that they also throw you a question, like a random question that doesn't really affect anything, but it still has the rover aspect of it,
I'm dying to know what that question does.
I really do wonder because I did go to, both of your islands and everything, and I've seen some other people play their islands and things, and I'm like, I got a green cot. I don't know if that's like, because I noticed people had different ones. Like some had a pattern, some had different things going on.
What did you answer?
I said I wanted something to kill the time because I was like, look, if I'm going to an island, I want to play Animal Crossing New Horizons while I'm there. So I thought, oh, I'm taking a Switch with me, of course, with the game. That's what I would take. Because the other options were a lamp, a sleeping bag, or food.
Right.
So I answered a lamp and I got a green cot also.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it's the present your mom gives you?
Oh, that could be it too. I mean, yeah, it seems strange because I saw so many people end up with like apples and peaches. Like they got the exact same things that I got. Yeah, Sergio, what did you answer for that question?
I answered food. I kind of went with the logical answer. Well, I kind of need food if I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I was like, you know what? There's going to be some food there that I can hunt and scavenge. And if I can't do that, I mean, how long do I deserve to survive on this island? I need to be able to fend for myself, So I thought, like, all of the basic needs, I was like, no, listen, I will take care of my basic needs. I just need my Switch there.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess Nina, from there, what fruit did you get? What flowers? What villagers? Most importantly.
So I got apples, and I got hyacinth, the tall flowers, and my two villagers were Snake, the little pink rabbit who wears like the Naruto headband, and Pashmina, who's a really cute little goat who's brown with blue horns.
Oh, those are cute. I really like those both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to pretend that Snake is like LARPing on the island with his little headband.
Yeah, he's dressed up very much like the character tends to dress up in the ninja outfit. I guess I'm talking about the movie now. But the little boy character, he dresses up as a ninja at one point, and then he has a bunny rabbit hood, I think, at another. So, yeah, I feel like Snake he makes me think about the movie a lot.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So what about you, Sergio? What did you start with?
So I got peaches. I got an orange airport. I also got hyacinth flowers. And for my villagers, I got Curly, the jock pig, and Sylvia, the Uchi kangaroo. And I love them both. They're awesome.
Aww.
Yeah, I really like Curly. I want to go steal him from you. He's just so round. I love the shape of his face.
He is, and his little curly eyebrows.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I've been really into like the pink villagers for some reason lately. They've just been really cute to me. I guess for me, I started out with apples, just like you, Nina. And then I got roses as my flower.
Oh, nice.
And then I did get an Uchi pig named Agnes. She's really cute. I like her a lot. And then Billy the Jock Goat. I want to call him Billy the Jock.
Those are both really good ones.
Yeah, I like them both a lot. I've been having a lot of fun talking to them. Jackie looks at my villagers and she's like, "Oh, I wish I had those."
Oh no!
She's not a huge fan of the ones she started with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, she just invited somebody else over, and she's like, "Oh, he's much cuter. He's a little penguin."
Oh, good. I'm glad she found someone.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's kind of like the basic differences between islands. Like you can start with a different fruit, you can start with different flowers, which you don't find out till later when you get, like, I think day 2 when you get the pole vault, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually more dependent than it being day 2. You have to have blathers show up in your town, or your island rather.
Yeah. And then the airports too. I got a yellow airport.
Oh, right. The airports. Yeah. I got a green airport.
Oh, nice. I got orange.
Yeah.
All different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of went with my first town and didn't reset. Is that the same for both of you?
Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't reset. In fact, when it came out to choose a layout, I did something that I had already planned. I was going to rotate the control stick clockwise for 4 seconds just to make it random, and I did that. And I think I got the layout with the least river because it has so little, and that's what I wanted, so I got lucky.
Oh, nice. I wish I hadn't restarted. I kind of got into a loop. It was pretty torturous. Me and Tab from the Discord were trying really hard to get certain airports. She wanted green, and I didn't want orange or blue. And it took us an hour and a half. I got orange 6 times in a row.
Oh my goodness.
And at some point we were just like, we're too far in to stop. We were so tired. But we finally got something, and my map's all right. I have my rivers make a little X, which I thought was good for my pirate theme. The only thing I don't like about my island is that I don't have the tidal pools that everybody else seems to have on the rocks on the beach, which I think are super cute. But mine, I guess, is just like a beachy Caribbean island instead.
Yeah, I really do like the tide pools too that we get. I have some on mine. I remember you pointed it out, and I was like, oh wait, does yours not have them? It seems surprising to me. But that also tells me, like, I would have thought that there would be, like, some special creature that showed up in the tide pools, you know? Like,
that
being able to get,
really
like...
cool.
Yeah, like, but now that I know your island doesn't have them, I'm like, oh, well, I guess that was an idea.
That's that. I'm, like, literally the only person I know who doesn't have one, though.
Oh, no.
So, but I'm too far in to restart. I can't get back into that loop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, after you've spent, like, an hour and a half doing it.
Oh, it was awful. And it was so late at night. We were so tired.
Yeah, that was honestly my experience with New Leaf. Once I got into that resetting, and I was just like, can I please give me the layout that I want.
It was torturous. And Tab and I are not the kind of people that usually stay up late, so it was especially torturous for us.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you both found something in the end.
Yeah.
And were able to work with that.
I mean, in the end, it's New Horizons, so there's not much to complain about.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm glad that it's out and we can play it. So
yes.
I guess from here, I wanted to kind of give you all a rundown of my days. And this will kind of tie in to my initial thoughts and everything. I know we all have very different things to say, so maybe we should just, like, do that. Like, we'll go one at a time, say what we want to, and then just talk about it, you know?
That sounds good.
Okay. So, like I said, I have a rundown of my days. I listed out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I wrote the shortest thing, but it was mostly because I was like, oh, I already wrote 3 books here. So, yeah, I guess to get started, Thursday was the day that I started playing because the game went live at midnight Eastern time. So I was like, okay, well, I guess it's midnight. I can... Yeah, well, it's 10 p.m. for me, so it's technically still Thursday. So the first thing I decided was I wasn't going to upgrade my tent to a house on Thursday. I just said, you know what? It feels a little weird playing New Horizons and seeing all of the emphasis put on this deserted island theme and all of these tents and things. I think it'd be a little strange to upgrade to a house by morning, you know? So I opted to just I still paid off the I guess initial payment, which was 5,000 Nook miles. So I paid that off, but I didn't talk to Nook. I said, you know what, I'm gonna stay in a tent for day one. The official day one is what I was calling it.
Right.
So yeah, I spent my first full night and full next day in the tent, which was nice. But yeah, mostly it was just like I wanted to get that deserted island getaway package feeling, like my other villagers. From there, I also gave Nook 5 creatures to get Blathers to move in. He then gave me like his little tent, you know, and so I set that up before I went to bed. And then from there, I guess, yeah, that was basically my Thursday. I went to bed. It was very late by then. And so, yeah, like you and Tav, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't stay up this late, especially if I'm going to get up very early in the morning and start playing again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically my first day. From there, Friday, I played a lot. I played all morning. I did stream with Loot Pots. I know we had Pete on the show. I've recently joined their team to become like a writer, a contributing writer for their site. So
that's so exciting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
yeah, I caught a little bit of that. It was good.
yeah, we were just hanging out, playing the game. We actually like did a lot of visiting with each other. One of them was actually a time traveler, so managed to get something a little bit early. It was a recipe for a ladder. I shared it with a lot of you later in the night. I crafted a bunch and just gave them away.
Yes, I might have gotten a ladder from you.
Yeah. So yeah, my morning was basically spent doing things with them. Just kind of, I spent my time just doing a lot of Nook Miles tasks, you know? And because I wanted to get to know that system a lot more. I also donated 15 more items to Blathers so he could build up a museum in my town. So that was
nice.
A cool thing. And then from there, I did talk to Nook finally to upgrade my house because somebody told me with the upgraded house, I finally unlocked the extra storage space. And I was like, oh, my pockets are just constantly full. And so I talked to him. I unlocked Nook Miles Plus after that. And then that expanded my inventory by giving me an option to spend 5,000 Nook Miles on it. Honestly, it makes sense that they charge that much for that one. It's a good update.
Yes,
It is.
yes.
I'm waiting for the next one.
Yeah, I already need the next one too.
Yeah.
Just hand it over. Nook.
Yeah.
So yeah, the pocket space upgrade was great. And then at the end of the day, I just had a lot of you over and, you know, I give you all some ladders here and there. I had the pole vault as well, which was nice. Sergio, you rented a pole vault from me just to get to a nice little location to take some pictures with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. I really liked going.
That was fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So from there, Saturday, another really full day for me on the island. The museum was being built, so it had that classic like green tent over it. I was covered up just like in those New Leaf days, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, while it was like that, I was just stacking fish and bugs right next to it and fossils and things, because I was like, all right, I need to be able to donate these things when it opens up tomorrow. So basically I just had like a whole exhibit outside of the museum.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter doing that too.
Yeah, there was some that was just like, how did you even catch all those things?
Seriously.
Yeah, they were really went into the collection aspect. But the cool thing was that like a lot of you, when you came over and were like poking around on them, we found out that the fish tanks now have lights attached to them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can turn on a light in the fish tank and it'll kind of glow in the dark. So that was awesome.
Oh, man.
The other thing is I noticed I had a T-Rex skull outside of my museum as well, because that was one of the fossils that I didn't get a chance to donate. He did assess the fossil for me, but when I put it outside and we tapped it, we noticed the mouth would open and close as well.
Yes.
That was amazing, and it opened and closed like as creepily as it possibly could. I loved it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good piece of furniture to like have a kind of against a wall in your house, so it looks like a T-Rex is kind of breaking into your home through the window.
Oh my
or
gosh,
something.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so and it opens its mouth really creepy, like you said.
Oh, it's awful, and I love it.
Yes, I'm all about it. I love creepy things. So yeah, outside of the stacking things, I did get a little mission from Timmy and Tommy to get them to build them a shop, you know? And so, you know, they wanted 30 kinds of every single wood and 30 iron nuggets, which was definitely the harder part of it.
Oh,
Yes.
those iron nuggets. That was the worst.
Yeah, it took because there are only so many stones on your island to hit, and you know, pro tip for anybody. This is we're gonna give you all a bunch of tips. Jackie has one for you all as well, but one pro tip that I have is dig some holes behind you before you start hitting the rocks, because that will keep you from getting hit too far and then swinging and missing, but you will maximize the amount of times you hit the rocks that way, because you can get
Right, because you have to hit it consecutively.
Yes, you have to hit it consecutively. You only have a certain amount of time, and you'll get 8 items from that rock if you do it correctly.
Oh, and one time I forgot to clear around the rock all the weeds.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got to clear it too.
Yes, definitely remember to clear your rocks, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on some very crucial items, some crucial crafting materials, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, from there, you know, I didn't have enough iron, so I decided to go on and try out the island tours because, you know, Sergio, you and I talked about this in the past where I was like, all right, we're going to an island. It's a crafting system, so it's very dependent on us having materials. But once we clean up our island, where do we get these materials, you know? So
Right.
You and I both talked about this, and we mentioned the idea of having some different islands that you can go to. And I think at one point I said kind of like dungeon crawler, random generated ones. It honestly
Right.
gives me that vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys totally called it.
Yeah, I feel like we knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, like I went to 3 different islands and I hit all the rocks and everything. And now that I've done it that many times, I'm just like, oh man, there are some things I need to pay attention to when I do that. So I'm thinking of doing like a little island tour guide for people
Yeah.
because Jackie gave me this pro tip. She dug up the entire palm tree to take home with her. Whereas, like, I just took coconuts to plant them in my town.
Oh.
And she was like,
Yeah.
no, just dig up the tree. Take it with you. Don't even take the coconuts off because because then they will just come with the coconuts already there and it doesn't take a space in your inventory.
You know what? That's us playing New Horizons like New Leaf players, and Jackie playing New Horizons like as a newcomer that she could think of. that.
Yeah. So it's honestly a brilliant move, and it's one I'm going to be using in the future for sure.
And
Oh.
I don't think the islands are randomly generated. I think there is a set number because I've seen like my friends go to islands I've been to. So I think a guide would be
Oh
great.
yeah, that'd be really interesting to
Mm.
see, kind of like pay attention to all the different islands that are available to people.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to a different one each time. I guess how many have you all done this? How many different islands have you gone to?
Hmm.
Four.
Okay, I've gone to four as well.
I think I've been to four as well, and one got repeated.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Now, here's another question for you. So, I went to all these different islands. I was hoping I'd find oranges, you know? I wanted a different fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But all of my islands had apples, like my native apple fruit. Is that
Same here.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it seems like you're not going to be able to like easily go to an island with a different fruit, you know?
No,
Right,
I guess you
right.
just have to get those like from visiting real live people.
Yeah, so there are coconuts, luckily, so we can get
Mm-hmm.
those on those
Right.
islands. But yeah, outside of other fruit, it seems like you get your native fruit. I did see different flowers, though.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. One island I went to was a bunch of hybrid flowers, which was very awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Elliot from the Discord has been there too, or Lyelatron. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of hybrid roses. There were pink and orange roses.
Oh,
Oh, that's
cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
so I brought two of each home with me just to, you know, my pocket space was very limited at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, you really have to prepare to go to those
You
islands.
do. You gotta wipe out your pockets, get some good tools. You gotta really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Animal Crossing is a dungeon crawler now at this point. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I think it was Kelsey Lewin who was on the show who actually said that Animal Crossing was originally going to be like a dungeon crawler type of game.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
yeah. I remember that. That was a good show.
Yeah, so it seems like that idea has finally surfaced into these secret islands that we can go to. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to get the Tarantula Island so
Oh, I know. I've been kind of waiting till
Oh my, no.
I've been waiting till nighttime specifically because I think it might be a nighttime one that pops up.
Yeah.
And so Jackie and I are planning an expedition tonight to try to see what we find.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about the islands a bit. So I did all of that. They just kept me busy for sure. But from there, I'm trying to find where I am. Oh yeah, so we got the pro tip from Jackie. Just dig up the trees. Don't even pick the fruit. Unless you need them to actually like eat and dig up the tree, you know?
Right.
But yeah, after that, I had the materials for Timmy and Tommy's shop. I got them settled into a place. I picked out a plot of land. They've since built their shop, but that'll be a Sunday thing for me. And then, yeah, after that, I was just bug catching and fishing and paying off my loan, basically.
Nice.
Yeah, and so then Sunday rolled around. I had the museum. I had Timmy and Tommy's shop. And then I got sent on this giant mission from Tom Nook to plot 3 new characters on my island. Well, not the characters themselves, but just some new homeland, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
I loved this.
yes, I was all about this. I streamed it all so you can see my experience doing it, but
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it was a really fun thing. I really like that it was a very mission based type of thing where it was like, oh, you have to make all of these things, you have to pick a spot, you have to furnish it so it's all ready. So yeah, no, I was very happy with that. And that's been my experience so far with the game. Well, that's been like what I've done at least.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lots of progress.
Yeah, lots and lots of things. There's definitely so much to do. But yeah, I guess I kind of want to jump to both of you and see like what you've done and what your thoughts have been on it so far. So Nina, if you want to take it over from here.
Okay. So I'm on my 4th day this Sunday because I paid off my house that kind of Thursday night, even though it was Friday,
Right.
and stayed awake until the day shifted at 5 a.m., which is interesting because it used to be
Wow.
6 a.m. at
Yeah, yeah.
in New Leaf. Which was amazing. I took some pictures and put them on Twitter because Tom Nook, like as soon as 5 o'clock hit, Tom Nook did his like morning announcement, and you could see the sunrise behind him, and I was like, oh, it was just so beautiful. I couldn't handle it, and then like fell asleep shortly after. But so I'm kind of felt ahead of the curve, which was nice, and got let me think. So I got the museum built today. Kind of went through the same steps as you. Nook's Cranny is built. Mabel visited today, which was so exciting. And Saturday night ran into Harvey and Wisp. I thought that was interesting that they were both on the island at the
Oh,
same
wow.
time.
Yeah.
So they were really fun to run into also.
Wow. I've not
and I've
seen
been
Harvey at all. I did see Wisp, but well, I guess what did Harvey have for you?
So Harvey was just kind of walking around, and no one announced him or anything. He was just walking around, just like Harvey does. And he told me that the Photopia Island was open whenever I wanted to come by.
Wow.
And he had a really cute dialogue about, he was like, I thought this was a deserted island. Now
Yeah,
there's all
yeah.
these people over here. He's just so cute.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess what day was that when you ran into Harvey? Was that today?
that was yesterday on
Yesterday.
Saturday. And I haven't had time to go to Photopia yet today because I've been so busy.
Yeah.
I've been island hopping a lot, which has been so nice, and people have been donating. Like, Sarah from the Discord gave me a pirate door knocker, which was amazing, and my
Oh,
friend
wow.
Michi got me a little coconut drink because I'm making a pirate bar on my beach. So, everybody's kind of contributing to each other, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is awesome. The one thing that is really cool is that we can now mail letters across towns again.
It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, this is a feature that unfortunately didn't make it through to New Leaf, but it was in City Folk. But it's just great. Why did they ever remove it? I don't know, but I'm really glad it's back because now,
It's super awesome.
yeah, now I'm just like kind of getting things. And I'm like, oh, who would this be a really great item for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to do
And
that.
I noticed when you go to the ABD in the resident services tent, when you're shopping, you can either buy or send it straight in a letter to a friend.
Yes.
Yeah, that is really cool
That's
too.
awesome.
It's so convenient.
It is, and it's making it such a nice little community, especially once you've got people on your friends list and you've best friended some people. Like, it's just so much fun.
Yeah, they really did a lot to get people connected right away in this game, which is awesome.
Oh, and I was working on my museum today, and found something kind of disappointing. I bulk donated all of my fossils that I had collected. Um, and when you bulk donate, Blathers doesn't tell you about the fossils, which is kind of my favorite thing about Blathers. I will like sit and listen to everything he has to say about fish and bugs because he's hilarious. So then when I went into the exhibit to look at my fossils, if you click on one, it doesn't tell you about the fossils, so I missed out on those.
Ah.
So
I'm really bummed.
No.
I feel like in New Leaf you could read about them.
yeah, so there. Okay, I did find that there is a way to learn about those fossils after the fact.
Tell me.
Yes, there is an option that Blathers has that I think is tell me about that. And so if you happen to have that fossil again, you can
Right.
talk to him and pick that fossil out of your pocket, and he'll give you that same piece
Oh,
of dialogue
okay.
that you missed.
That's so tricky though, because sometimes the fossils are like one-time thing. You won't get them again for a year.
Yeah, so I mean, luckily there are some that are like multiple pieces, So there's some odds to get them, but yeah, I mean, if you want to ensure that you see them, we're gonna recommend that you do it one at a time and don't bulk donate.
That's what I did. Yeah, I did that most of today, Sunday, was I just like donated all those fish and all those bugs that I had and just kind of listened to Blathers talk, which was adorable.
Yeah, so I mean, the one thing with that is it's gonna take a little while, but I
Yeah.
mean, if that's what you
Carve some
want,
time
like
out.
that's the while you want to take. That's how you want to
Keep
use your time.
Blathers.
Um,
My other little thing that I love so far are the balloons. They're so much better now.
yes.
Yes.
I get so excited when I see a balloon now and I go chase it down. Whereas in New Leaf, when they were just the balloon furniture, which I didn't like, I kind of got over them and just let them drift on by.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the balloons just got so stale so quickly in New Leaf that these are like, they're so refreshing. There's such a variety of items that you can get. They're always really
Yes.
amazing to see floating in the sky. And yeah, everything about the balloons in this one is vastly superior.
Yeah. The sound that they make is really subtle too. So it's like, wait, did I just hear a balloon? And then I just like kind of go crazy looking for it.
Yeah. I honestly, I want to find more. Every single time I find one, I'm just like, I need another.
Yes. So far, I've gotten clothes, furniture, bells, and DIY recipes from them.
Yeah, there are so many things that you can get, and sometimes it's like 10,000 bells. It's insane.
Yes. I love them.
Yeah, they improved these so much. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've gotten a couple messages in a bottle, but they've been like, cardboard tables. Like, oh, no, thank you.
Yeah. We don't need that.
No.
But also, I'm just got a habit of crafting every single thing that I can craft.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So I go for it anyways. Yeah.
Oh, it's just been so much fun.
I know. I can't stop playing. I want to play now. So, Sergio, take us through your time with the game so far.
Sure, sounds good. So Friday was the beginning, and normally nowadays my official bedtime is between 9 and 10 p.m. and that's when the game came out, so I had to sleep earlier that day and the night before. I went to bed at 2 a.m. that day, but it was a very, very productive 5 hours. I did a lot. I got the upgraded inventory space, and I paid my first loan, so I had my house the next day. I made a big mistake, and I think I made it with the right reasons in mind. And Nina, you mentioned it exactly. I did not want to give Tom Nook any bug or fish because I wanted Blathers to tell me about them.
Oh.
So you can imagine that slowed down the museum for me. I'm 1 day behind. It's currently being constructed. I believe for most people, fourth day is when they get the full museum, and I'm still waiting for it.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, I'm a little
Nook is
behind,
not the
but
one.
yeah. I wanted the full explanation from Blathers, and I'm not gonna get that for like the first couple of items you give Tom Nook.
Yeah.
But other than that, it felt a very productive first night. And then Friday was all about the mission for Timmy and Tommy's shop, which was nice. And also starting with the crafting and everything and getting to know the island and the villagers. Also a very productive day. And then on Saturday, we got the mission to build the 3 plots. Did we need to build them all that same day? I kind of forced myself to, but I don't know if we needed to.
I did too, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think you needed to. I think it was just like, I don't know if anything happened until you were done with them. I know I did it in the first day, so I don't know completely, but I just assumed that like once you finished up all 3 of the plots, then they would start getting used seriously.
Yeah. So I finished those yesterday, and today I had like the little signpost telling me who was moving in. And on one of the Nook Islands, I found Nan, the little black goat, and she has moved in already in one of those plots. So have you guys found people on your islands, or have they staked a claim on one of those 3 Timmy or Nook plots?
Oh, nice. Yeah, so on Friday, for in order to get their shop built, I had to go on a lot of tours to get iron nuggets, and on three of those, I actually got three villagers that
Oh,
agreed to move
wow.
in, and they all the three plots are the ones that said they would move in. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Nan is my one, and then the other two were just random. I've got Victoria, the racing horse, and Broccolo, the little blue mouse, coming.
Nice.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
yeah. So I wonder now if I go on another tour and I invite someone, if they will build their house themselves or if I need to do those three house type things again.
Mm.
Yeah. So, okay. I guess do they just like all automatically the next day tell you somebody's moving into that spot? Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting because
They may even tell you now. No, maybe it is the next day.
yeah, because I just built it and none of them tell me. I actually went and clicked on the signs. So I
Okay.
don't think it tells
Mm.
me quite yet. But now I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go on an island tour. What if I see somebody else I like? But at the same time, I kind of want it to just be random in my town. I
Right,
am getting
right.
somebody for sure. Now that you've told me that you got somebody from the island, um, I did invite Marina from the island tours.
Oh my God. That's so exciting.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw her and I was like, "Oh, an octopus! I want one."
And her little sweater is so
Yes, it
good.
looks just like Mabel's, like from Gravity Falls. It just makes me think of
Oh my
Mabel.
gosh.
So,
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, Marina is going to be moving into one of those spaces, but I don't think I'm going to invite anybody else. I'm just going to kind of let it happen when it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Y-
I mean, I'm pretty happy with Victoria and Broccolo.
Yeah, I think those are fun, but yeah, I just want it to be random. I told Jackie, I was like, I don't really mind who I get. I just hope they're all a different species. I want all my animals to be different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got two little goat girls now, but they'll be friends. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's fun regardless. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll find out tomorrow who is moving into my place. I know Marina will make it in, but outside of that, who knows?
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see just everybody's villagers because I think now we're getting to that point where it's going to be a lot more variety because it seems like we were set to get a Jock and an Uchi. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to get any variation of those two probably, but once we get further along, everybody's going to start seeing different personalities pop up on their island and just have a bunch of different animals. Like there's a lot of new animals now that are unlocked. Like I'm getting an octopus. That's very different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to get her. It's going to be really fun. I've never had her in my
Sir-
town.
Oh no, I haven't either. Sergio, who are your three?
So I got Mary the cat. I actually have a cat. I think we're gonna get along though. It's gonna be fine.
She's so cute.
And then Eric, I believe, is coming tomorrow. And Sky the wolf.
Oh, I love Eric.
You
Yes.
just got like probably several villagers that a lot of people really like.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
those are good ones.
Yeah, Sky is the blue wolf, and she's very popular.
Yeah, she has like a little cloud hair
Yeah.
on her forehead.
Yes.
And then Eric, he's a good bud. He used to live in my New Leaf town. He's great.
He's lazy, isn't he? They're my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
And I want to tell you, Mary was actually one of my starting villagers in New Leaf. She was either one of my
nice.
starting ones or just like the first one to move in, but I'm pretty sure she was one of the very first residents of Haken in New Leaf. So I ran into her and I was like, oh, she's so cute in this game. She's great.
She's like classic Animal Crossing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you both. You're both getting some really awesome villagers.
Yeah, it's been really good. And today's big thing for me was getting the customization, I guess, workshop from Tom
Yeah.
Nook.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, it is so awesome. Like a lot of the very first things that we can craft are what I actually want in my final room because I love wood-based products and materials and items. And now that I can change the colors to like dark wood or natural wood, or it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I did all mine green.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those. Okay, so I really want to get to that point because I haven't unlocked it yet. Today I did unlock emotions finally.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
nice.
it took a long time for me to get that, but yeah, customization. I'm just waiting for that because there's a lot. Like you, Sergio, I love the wood themed furniture, and so
Oh,
I'm
nice.
just waiting to be able to craft it and customize it and just make it my own.
I've been surprised at like I'll grab a whole bunch of things that I think I'm going to be able to customize and then they're not available. So I've been surprised like what can be customized and what can't so far.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
one thing I noticed by looking at like the trailers and things, if you go to like your DIY essentially recipes, I think at the bottom left corner it will tell you customizable or not.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah, so I think you can
yeah.
like find out before you actually craft it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I really am wondering like what can be customized, what can't be. What am I going to be upset about that can't be customized? But it seems
Well,
like
and
there's a
some
lot.
things that aren't customizable come in different colors anyway. So it seems like they would be customizable, but they're not. So I want to, dive a little deeper into the furniture and like the inventory and see everything that's available.
Oh, that's really strange. That's weird. I wouldn't have expected that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I think so far my favorite customized item is a frying pan. And I was able to put a pizza in it.
Oh my
That's perfect.
gosh.
Oh,
That's
now I
amazing.
just really want pizza for dinner. Oh man, that's awesome. That's a really cool good
Yes,
That's
find.
it was
amazing.
perfect.
Yeah. So I guess Sergio, I do want to talk about, I know Nina brought it up, but some things she didn't really care for, some things she really liked a lot. So Sergio, did you have things that you noticed that you like complain about or don't really find the best?
Yeah, honestly I think it's only one, but it's a big one. It bothers me whenever I remember it, and because of what it is, I remember it all the time. And it's basically the lack of hourly music from the very beginning. And I guess also the town tune, and I guess they kind of tie them together, and that's their explanation. You're kind of in a brand new deserted island that doesn't really have a tune per se.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they tie the hourly music to it. My biggest complaint is that new players or people that are new to the series, they're gonna think that music is not gonna change at all. And we
Right.
know that the hourly music is a huge part of the experience, and the game doesn't even tell you anything about it. Like, can if the game at least told you, eventually you're gonna get hourly music, then maybe. So that's my only complaint. I think it's a big one, but that's it. It's just that one.
Well, and to make it even bigger, Medi in the Discord was saying that it doesn't unlock until like a week from today. Like it
Right.
takes a long time to unlock. So,
Right, right.
that's a long time to go with just like little background guitar plucking.
Yeah, I mean, even Jackie made that comment. She was just like, I'm tired of hearing the same song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice, it's very nice, but like I kind of told people in the past with New Leaf where like when you start your town, there's some tracks that play that you don't get to hear ever again. And
Yeah.
now, I mean, imagine this is like one of those tracks where it's like, are we going to be able to hear it later? Is it an hourly tune sometime in the future, or does it just disappear? And my complaint a little bit was like, oh, I didn't get to hear that song enough in the game. And then, but now that I'm like overloaded with one song, I'm just like, oh, I don't even care. I just want to hear more songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll be ready to let it go after another week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
And, like I make that complaint, but also like YouTube exists. People have uploaded music so you can just listen to all these tracks whenever you want. So yeah, like you, Sergio, I feel it too. I feel like we need some more music in it. I had a couple complaints. I had a couple complaints on top of that. One, Sergio, I'm surprised you didn't have. Where was KK Slider on Saturday?
Yes.
I ran back and forth from resident services fishing all night, and then I woke up on Sunday and I was like, did I miss KK Slider? What was up with that? So
I totally forgot about him.
Yeah, and I would have been like, oh, I think I missed him. Did I mess up? But
right.
I thought about what I did last night, and I was like, no, I would have run into him because I was playing pretty late. It was definitely after 8 p.m. And I was just running through all the areas where I would have thought that he would have shown up,
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, KK Slider, not in the game, confirmed. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding. I have bought some of his music, so I do, he's going to show up,
Maybe he's a town hall unlock also. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. So how'd you feel, Sergio, missing out on KK Slider on that first weekend?
I guess I kind of expected it. I hope at least it's not as long of a wait as it was in New Leaf. I think, honestly, I'm with you, Nina. I think when we get the full-on resident services building, then whenever the next Saturday hits, he should be there.
Yeah.
Now I have to work toward that. I hope it's fast.
Yeah.
We need new music, and we need KK Slider music. All these music things. The other thing I wanted to mention that I thought was unfortunate, really, it's just that you can't craft more than one thing at a time. I wish there was a way to just select multiple things. If you have the ingredients, it would let you keep selecting, and as you selected more, it's all right, you're going to be using this many ingredients, you can't pick this anymore. So just kind of a smart system like that. But I ran into this specifically when I was just crafting bait. I went through, I caught tons of shells, and then I was crafting one after another of bait. Luckily, the bait did pay off. Eventually, I did manage to catch an oarfish with that, which has been my biggest catch by far in the game.
Nice.
But yeah, just not being able to craft more than one thing at a time. It's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, and the bait, I haven't really figured that out yet because I threw it out 3 or 4 times and got a dab and a squid, and a sea bass. I don't know if it's actually bringing in rare fish or if it's just bringing in a fish.
I think it is just bringing in a fish. Because I did, the oarfish was a big thing that I caught, but that was after probably 20 bait that I used.
Yeah, and I don't think that's worth the time it takes to dig up the clams and to make the bait without there being a bulk create.
Yeah, I think where it does help is if you don't want to be walking around a lot and looking for fish. If you just want to stick to one space, maybe you have a Nook Miles goal that you want to achieve really quickly, catch 5 fish right away. You could just throw out bait really quickly, but even then it's you're still walking around collecting everything you need to craft the bait itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I don't know if the time is there, but yeah, I guess there might be situations where it's more necessary, but right now I don't completely see it. Yeah. So I guess, did you both have anything else you wanted to say about your playthrough, how you're feeling about the game, anything you don't like or anything you really do like?
So just one minor note, you may recall that I had mentioned that I was going to be recording all my gameplay. Luckily, I have, but it's funny because the very first night I almost completely forgot because I was so excited to just start playing. But Logan from the Discord, he mentioned that he was recording his initial playthrough as well, and he reminded me to, hey, you have a plan about this. And yeah, I've been pretty good about it so far. So over 33 hours of footage. It's all been recorded. It's awesome.
Aw, thanks, Logan.
Okay. I'm glad you brought this up because I did want to check in with you because I wanted so badly to know if you had all of your work or your playthrough recorded. Are you uploading this to YouTube or anything?
Not yet, not yet. It's all secure here.
Well, I want to see it. Like, as soon as you have it existing somewhere where I can watch it, I'm going to put it on all day. Because I need 33 hours of Animal Crossing in my life.
Release it from the vault.
Yeah, just put it somewhere, Sergio. We need to see it. Especially because, we've both visited your island, and you're doing work on that place. It's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and we've had visitors and I've been places, and I feel like I'm already building a lot of great memories that it took a while in New Leaf to really get going. So yeah, there's a lot of treasure moments there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad you're doing that because I wanted you to. As soon as you told me you were doing that, I was just like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to want to play in bed and everywhere, so I opted not to this time around. Cool. Well, I guess I do want to move on and talk about some of the news in New Horizons. We're already over an hour on this show, so a nice long episode for all of you. But yeah, I guess I'll go quickly through this news, kind of let you know what updates are coming, what's already available. Mostly this is stuff that's available. Some things are going to happen a little bit later on. But the first thing is that New Horizons, right when you play, there is an update for the game, a day one update. This is the update that adds specifically online multiplayer and Bunny Day. Online multiplayer is very great. It's really easy to use. The best friend feature is great. You can send letters via the internet to people in other towns. It's worth it. Of course, you do need a Nintendo Switch online service. I guess with your whole console, it's I think $19.99 for one person, or you can get a family plan for $34.99, and that's USD. I don't know what that converts to in other currencies, but if you do find just one, I mean it, just one other person to get a family plan with, that is already cheaper than the single plan.
And that's for the whole year.
Yeah.
It's really cheap.
Yeah, it's an entire year, and if you find just one other person, it's $17.50, I think, for each of you. So it's worth it to find one friend and start a plan together. You can fit up to 8 people on a plan. I'm on one with 8 people. I actually just got a second family plan for my other profiles that, I might want to do something else in the future, but I have some other profiles, and then I got Jackie set up on a plan as well, which is the family plan that I just made. So yeah, that's the warning there. If you want to play online, you do have to purchase the online, the Nintendo Switch Online from Nintendo. Bunny Day, that will take place on April 1st to April 12th. We do not know what this means.
Wow.
All we know is that it's going to be like a couple week long event, which is very, it's not completely unique to Animal Crossing. We've had events like that in the past. Halloween is always a good example. But we're going to see a lot more from the event soon. We'll keep you all updated as we learn more. The Nintendo Switch...
Oh, and what does that mean about Blanca?
Oh, I don't know. I was wondering that too. Like, we do know that Zipper T Bunny was added, but outside of that, we don't know about any other, I guess, special characters. I mean, I am under the impression that a lot of the characters and a lot of features are going to be added in updates over time, kind of like, Nintendo's doing this strategy, essentially. They want to add DLC over time. We just got DLC for Luigi's Mansion 3. It was a multiplayer update. There was DLC for Fire Emblem recently, but they're really just pushing DLC to create more long-lasting playtime for their games and keep it more relevant for longer, So I expect to see a lot of DLC. Maybe next year we get the Blanca update that adds her to the game. That would be fun, honestly. And I think there's a lot of potential there. Especially when it comes to like the surprise factor of Animal Crossing, of like, oh, there's this special thing going on this day only. I wonder what it is, Yeah. So those are the basic New Horizons updates there. Outside of that, the Nintendo Switch Online app, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, that now works with the game. It works with New Horizons. It gives you, the first thing it gives you, and this is true for most games, is voice chat. A lot of games just have voice chat built into them through the app, so they may not necessarily have a section for the game, but they do have voice chat working. But Animal Crossing New Horizons is unique. It does have a section for the game. This is one of 3 games. There's Smash, Splatoon, and Animal Crossing now. There you can check your passport, which will show you your town, the fruit that you have, the villagers that live in your town currently. It has a design app that lets you scan QR codes. So if you are one of those people who likes to scan in your old codes from New Leaf or Happy Home Designer, that's the way to do it. It has a keyboard for in-game messaging. This one's really cool, actually. It's very seamless and works really well. You can just type on your phone instead of like moving one space at a time on your Switch, you know? But yeah, just type messages on your phones, hit send, and it shows up in-game. It's actually really cool. From there, you also can check the status of your best friends. You can see who's online right now. I can actually like log into the app right at this moment and see who's playing. From there, you cannot send messages unless you're playing as well, but you can send messages to your best friends. But your game has to be on. You have to be connected to the internet. Otherwise, the message won't send. I don't really know. It's fancy. I don't quite understand how it works, but it does. And then there's just like one little option where you can change some settings, look at the copyright, the credits. I don't really understand one of the settings. One of them is changing the language for your app, which is, reasonable. It's good to have that. And then the other is change players. I think this I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe one account is attributed to multiple players, like the Switch, So maybe that's what you use to switch to a different player and just use the app as somebody else. But outside of that, I don't know. I haven't tested it at all. So that's all the app updates. There's a Pocket Camp update. You can log into Pocket Camp and get a redemption code for some Pocket Camp items in New Horizons. You don't have to pay for these. You could just download the code. Well, you hit yes. It doesn't cost anything, like literally not even like in-game stuff. You just hit that you want it, and then it'll provide you with a code. You type that code into the Switch eShop, and you get some special items from Pocket Camp in your game. You do have to go to the Nook link, which is that little like computer thing in Nook's tent, or if you're already there, Resident Services. But you go there and you can purchase the items. It's weird that you have to purchase them.
I hated that.
Yeah, it's very strange. And you're only limited to 5 items per day on that. So, make your choices wisely, because it does go across like even what you can buy from Nook himself. So those items are limited time. So I'd kind of prioritize the ones you want from Nook before you go and get those Pocket Camp items. From there, there's also another free download on the eShop itself. If you go into the Switch eShop, you can go to the listing for Animal Crossing New Horizons, and there's a free Nook Ink Silk Rug. That will also show up in your Nook link, so you'll also have to purchase this one. Weird choice. I don't know why they do that. Once again, the limit is 5 items, so if it'll stick around forever, so if you don't want it right away because you want to prioritize buying other things, buy the other things. The last piece of news was actually something I saw right before we started recording, but according to GameIndustry.biz, New Horizons is now the fastest selling Switch game in the UK. I'm sure this is going to be true for a lot of places, especially with the current situation and people wanting a nice little outdoor life to live.
Yes. And I'm glad that the game seems to be doing so well, but, to have that little footnote at the bottom of being like possibly due to the COVID-19, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
though.
But also, it could be that, but overall, as systems get later into the lifespan, you have more people who already have the system There were tons of people waiting to buy the system for this game, so honestly, I'm not surprised. This game, it was going to be huge, and we're seeing it happen. We're seeing the game get tons of traction, tons of attention online. It's probably good Nintendo has opted not to do like a major direct quite yet. It's only, this is essentially it for 2020 from Nintendo. As of right now, there's nothing else going on. So everybody's like, all right, give me the Animal Crossing game. Let's see what it is. And so I'm personally really excited because there's a lot of new players to the series, and I'm just like, I get really excited when other people get to understand why I love something so much, It happened this past Oscar season where Parasite won Best Picture, and I was like, all right, everybody, please watch Korean movies. They are so good. And I just want more people to get into Korean cinema. And so I think that is, this is a gateway for a lot of people. This is their entrance into the world of Animal Crossing. And I am so ready to see everybody posting about it. And they already are, but I'll tell you, I haven't seen it because I just keep playing the game. It's so hard not to. And Jackie's playing a lot too, so it's really fun.
Nice.
All right. That's a lot of news for you all. It's surprisingly, there's
job.
so much news already for it being launch weekend. So many things to download. Once again, go download those things. A lot of free downloads, which are great. For some reason, they take in-game currency to get, but overall, very awesome. Oh, okay. Side note, I did unlock the catalog in the game, and I saw that I can purchase the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch, which you only really got for free if you got the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch, if you want to consider that free, because it was a $300 buy-in for that. Or, like my brother, I think he had to get it from a scalper, unfortunately, and spent well above MSRP. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, that said, you send me, I forget what the price is. It's like close to 36,000 bells, but if you want it, It's purchasable. It's an item that we can buy. It'll get mailed to us, and then we can distribute the goods. I think both of you have it, obviously. We all got the Switch. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it's also more expensive than the regular Switch model in bells. I think the regular Switch model was like 29,000 bells.
Yeah, you got to pay those scalpers.
Yeah, you got to pay the scalper fee. I'm sorry. All right, so here we are. We're finally at the end here with Haken's Islander Corner. Both of you actually picked a lot of these answers, so they're going to be a fresh read for me. So we'll go back and forth. I'll start with this one. Maybe Nina, you can go next, and then Sergio. All right, so for those of you who don't know Haken's Islander Corner, every single week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question, and this week's question was, how are you enjoying the game so far? I had so many question ideas, but I was just like, I just want to get your thoughts, on how you're feeling about playing. So Tiger Cookie said, I am loving it. I'm sure we're going to hear this a lot. I love how much detail Nintendo has crammed into everything. I also love the slow start as I'm not rushing to unlock everything and I can really enjoy my island. And I agree with Tiger Cookie here. Like, Sergio, you did not donate things in time to get the museum quicker. I personally chose to stay in a tent for my full first day. And Nina, I'm sure you've been way ahead of us for years now. But still, I feel like I'm getting plenty of time with my island. One thing I read in the reviews was that people felt like there wasn't enough at the beginning of the game, and I'm just like, honestly, I feel like you all don't know how to play Animal Crossing, because I feel like I can just keep going. There's always more to do for me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so Primrose Chris says, I actually got a little worried that we would all have overhyped the game and been disappointed by certain bits, but I'm happy to say that this is not the case. I have loved every single moment I play of it, and I wish I was still playing it every moment I'm not.
Same. I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the potential overhype, it could have been an issue for sure, but yeah, I feel like the game definitely delivered, and I feel like, man, we're barely on the surface of something much, much bigger than I think nobody really knows how crazy it's
Yeah,
gonna be.
and
So it's gonna be awesome.
and you're both in like our secret mod chat on Discord, and I kind of like I put a message out there, and I was like, all right, I've had some premonitions about this game, and it was basically like, is this game going to be missing a lot? Because I'm noticing there are a lot of characters who aren't there. Some of them who, a lot of characters are mostly there to be menus to get you to a certain place. Like if we looked at it, broke it down to just like a spreadsheet, it'd be like, okay, Luna, this is the menu to go to dream addresses, That seems like a weird thing to cut in the game, but from the code that people have been able to dig through, they're like, yeah, it's not in there, There's probably a lot of stuff that's not in there. I haven't looked too deeply into any of those things because the thing that is unique about this game is that I really think we're going to get some really substantial updates as it goes out, and it in one way, it's a real strength for Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing is a game that runs in real time. It's a game you're supposed to experience in real time. At least that's how it's intended to be experienced. So you can always time travel and do your own thing. But with that in mind, like, it seems like they put some thought into that and we're like, you know what? Let's do some updates over time and we'll add things as they happen and it'll keep people more connected and make overall the game just feel more alive as you play, So
yeah, definitely. And Splatoon 2 is a perfect example of something we might expect, something like that.
Yeah, and at this point I am, because I definitely feel like there's stuff that's like not in there that I would have expected to be in there. But who knows? I think we're going to get updates over time. So I'm right there with you, Sergio. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen that we just don't know yet.
Yeah, definitely. So Ella Walker says, Nintendo has outdone themselves on this one. I spent all day yesterday playing with friends, sharing food and resources. It's been so much fun developing our islands and seeing all the different layouts. That's true. I've seen a lot of activity on our Discord, just multiplayer in general. People are having a lot of fun with this game.
Yeah, so many chats are just like constantly full of new messages and I can't keep up and I'm just like, oh, I was gone like a whole day. What's going on here? Yeah. So Cathario said, this game is absolutely wonderful. I've played almost every waking moment since it released digitally. I love how Nook Miles Plus goals are immediately replaced, which makes it all too easy to play for 10 hours a day. Also, I love how many balloons I've been getting. I can't wait for all the shops to open up and special events later in the year. And there's so much here. But yeah, the Nook Miles, right away, you get a new goal to go toward. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is awesome. Lindsay Schlee, maybe, says, I've been social distancing for the last week, and this game has allowed me to go outside and enjoy myself even though I can't. It's not just that this game is fun. This game is the balm for my current life problems. I didn't know how much I needed the game until this happened.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are feeling that way.
Yeah. I think it's getting us to... It's giving us some contact that a lot of us cannot get right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I get it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And CyberGiro says, it's great. Although it may have a few things here and there missing at the moment, it's still by far my favorite Animal Crossing. Those are big words, but I'm right there with you, Cyborg.
Yep, game of the year, game of the decade, game of the lifetime.
Once they add Blathers, then it can be game of the year.
I mean Brewster, right?
Brewster, sorry.
Yeah.
Brewster.
Yeah, I know Brewster's your man.
He is.
I think they'll add him pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the last answer is from Israel Sanchez, and they said, I love it. It is every bit as good as we thought. The graphics are stupendous, the dialogue is ridiculously charming, and the new mechanics add such a fresh new aspect to the classic formula. And yeah, I agree. I mean, just being able to craft everything and have ultimate freedom for your island it was the way to move the series forward for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this very long episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end, us neither, but we have to go play the game. We want it to.
We do.
Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, and play with them all, including Sergio and me and Nina. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chewie Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube, the comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. How are you enjoying the game so far? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chewie, Sergio, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you guys. Bye.